Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a new last epoch gold making guide. Looking behind me, you can see the marketplace. And over here, what I have done is I have written some really detailed notes and also some market insights to provide to you guys on what of the unique items are worth tons of gold. Over 40 million gold, and you can see over here over 50 million gold. And I have screenshot those for you guys to understand where you can be farming those items and how you want to combine your farming routes, and also what is the best way to get most of your items and also sell for tons of gold. On the second part, we're also looking into what exalted items are worth keeping and the affix behind that, and also what idols are worth keeping and also the affix behind this. Finally, I also have some additional tips to give to you guys to farm additional items as you progress through the game, and also other method which you can be earning 3.5 to 5 million per person as you help other players level. So yes guys, it took me a long time to make this guide again, and this follows from our previous Merchant Guild guide. So if you haven't seen that one, definitely check it out, and let's dive into this particular video. Now at the start of the notes, you can see that I have written some notes to myself, what I want to share with you guys and what are my future plans. So let's jump in right away to list of unique items that sells for a lot of gold. Now there can be some unique items which are quite rare, which sells by themselves without having any legendary potential. For example, this particular belt, the Jungle Queen's belt, will sell for 1.3 million with 0 legendary potential. And there's tons of items which you might not have noticed can sell for a lot of gold even without legendary potential. So the red ring over here sells for 16 million gold before our video. Now the red ring without legendary potential sells for over 40 million gold, and the price is still going up. And this is also a similar case for the Core of the Mountain, which is the chest piece for our latest build with the Marksman. Now I know what you might be thinking, you're like, oh man, you're driving up the inflation, the prices are going up. But at the same time, if you take advantage of the top meta build and also the items in need, and if you farm some of those items, one of the viewers was able to get the Blast Dagger to 4 legendary potential, selling 500 million gold on our Discord. And yes, there's a lot of items, there's a lot of things that you can be looking for. So the first part is, I have listed all the rare items that I know so far that can sell for a lot of gold. So here you can see a short written summary. Just to show you guys how much gold those items sell, I did a screenshot yesterday, so that was on the 13th of March. And while doing the screenshot, you can see this particular amulet at 0 potential sells for 300 gold. And as for Ominous, this particular amulet, if you rolls on top, not resistance, this sells for a few million gold. Similarly, you can see the belt, the red ring here, sells for 42 million gold. So you can see a list of items with various legendary potential, which I think will be selling for tons of gold. And you can see the 2 legendary potential relic over here, and this is a relic that is boss only. And here we have the Blast Daggers. Currently 2 legendary potential Blast Daggers sell for 3 million. 4 legendary potential daggers sell for over 500 million. So if you get your hands on one of those lucky daggers, you're set for a lot of build. Now, as we keep moving further, you can see there's the boots, there's the gloves for the warding set, and there's also the one-hand sword for the Falconer Guides set, which at 2 legendary potential sells for close to 25 million gold. And here you can see the mountain set. The mountain set are coming from the lightest arbor dungeon, and you can be getting all of those with tier 4 difficulty for the dungeons. Of course, those have different rates. I do believe the chest is the most rare one, and this is why at 2 legendary potential, this one used to sell for 44 million gold, now it's selling for 50 million gold. So the price of those items keeps going up. Now that we had a look at a list of various items that sell for a lot of gold, I think it's only responsible of me to give you guys formulate some plans and also method and also secret routes to be farming. Now those are very precious, and I've been asking a lot of my in-game friends of how they do this and what is the logic behind it. So I have summarized 4 different routes that can be helpful for you guys depending on the class you guys are playing and also the way you like those dungeons. The first dungeon is recommended, it's going to be Ring of Dragon timeline. For this particular timeline, yes, I also added the link for you guys if you want to come over to the timeline. For this particular timeline, you can see the boss items, and one of the biggest boss item we're looking for is going to be this relic. Now the Twisted Heart relic provides a lot of health and also is great for Warlock and also other spelling casting classes. Together with the strength, it is very welcome for classes that doesn't have much armor, and also with casting speed. This particular relic comes with 1 legendary potential, not that often because it's quite rare, but if you do get your hand on 2 legendary potential, it sells for tons of gold. So coming back to our guide over here, and I'll show you guys the screenshot. So 2 legendary potential sells for at least 15 million gold, and the price keeps going up. And this is not all. So whenever I pick a timeline for you guys, we'll be looking for boss drops. Together, sometimes you'll be getting a better blessing. So the blessings you can be getting from this particular timeline, let's see over here, you can be getting tons of good blessings. You can be getting the ones that gives you physical damage, together with all resistance, critical strike avoidance, and also narcotic resistance. This is actually really good. And finally, you can be farming for the echoes, which has increased rate through dropping daggers and also sword. And this comes to the blast daggers and also the frozen light. So if I come back over here, the frozen light, 2 legendary potential, 25 million gold. And finally, the blast dagger is super common to be farming in this timeline. Each time you get a 2 legendary potential, it is 3 million gold, and this goes even further. So if you get lucky with 3 or 4 legendary potential, you can make millions and hundreds of millions of gold. So yes, this is one of my favorite timelines to be farming for my Warlock. But sadly, my Warlock is in the Circle of Fortune. So no matter how many items I get, I can't really trade it and I can't really sell it. So that's the only downside. But if you're in the Merchant Guild farming this one, it is one of the best ones so far for me to be getting a lot of great items. Now similarly, the second recommendation route for you guys is going to be the Blood, Fourth and also Death particular timeline. For this timeline, the boss items are going to be big priority. We'll be looking for the gloves, and if you can get your hands again on the 2 legendary potential gloves, it is extremely profitable. Similarly guys, if you can get your hands on the last steps with 2 legendary potential, this is also incredible. There is a 50% chance of dropping the boots. You just have to get this one to 2 legendary potential, then you can sell for millions of gold. So again, you can come back to the screenshots over here. The 2 legendary potential currently sells for 7 million gold. And as for the gloves, it sells for over 20 million gold. Now because of the blessing over here, it's not a big deal. Farming the echoes for the chest is also not bad. So one of the biggest chests of highlight is gonna be this particular chest that is used in multiple build. If you can get a 2 legendary potential chest, it is 6 million gold. If you can get a 3 legendary potential chest, it goes up to 50, 80, 100 million gold. And this is one of the biggest jackpots for this particular timeline. So the 3 items you'll be farming, if you come over to the second one, is gonna be the gloves, the boots, and also the chest. Now the third recommended timeline for Monolith to be farming is gonna be the Edge of Winter. For this one, we can be looking for amulets and also rings as the unique echoes of target. And together with better blessing, so here you can see there's a number of nice blessings like physical resistance, cold resistance, and also endurance threshold. So the boss items are not gonna be a big deal for this particular echo. But what you're looking for is, you're looking for the rare and also unique amulets and also rings. One of the biggest extremely rare ones is gonna be the red ring. If you can get Oceanian over here to 2 or 3 legendary potential, it is also great. And similarly over here, you can see some of the extreme rare amulets that can be found in this dungeon. And together with our latest build, which we started to use this amulet, those items sell for a lot of gold, even at 0 legendary potential. So here you'll be farming for amulets and also rings. And I have a friend who's been farming this particular timeline for about 3 to 4 days. He has gotten 1 LP rings and also some amulets, selling for hundreds and also millions of gold. So this is your personal choice with going with 3 different timelines to be farming for gold and also selling those profitable items. Now finally, if you guys have a lot of dungeon keys, especially the Lightless Arbor dungeon, so if you come over to the dungeons, there is a set of items which can be really interesting. So the boss items that is available is going to be the chest and also the gloves and also the helmet. Those items can be a little rare. Some of those appear quite often at tier 4, but some of those chests even at tier 4 appears only 12% of the time. But if you happen to be able to get one of those items, they can sell for a lot of gold. So those 4 variety of the farming spots and also routes can be really profitable if you guys have a good build for this one and you have the resource like the keys to be farming for those. Now coming over to the second part. As you guys are farming for the dungeons and also for the echoes, you may be getting exalted items or you may be getting idols. So here I have made a short list of the quick summary of what items can sell for a lot of gold if you roll those on tier 7 stats. So right away you can see crit multi is very welcome by most of the class, together with HP percentage on the chest or on the helmet, and also min stats on most of the gears, like intelligence, strength, dexterity, vitality. Those are very welcome for different builds. Now after that, you can be looking for experimental affixes. It doesn't have to be tier 7, tier 6 are also great. So let me add one over here. And also tier 7 movement speed. Any of the top meta skills that plus 4, like fissure, ballista, detonating arrow, will sell for good gold. Together with any elemental penetration on the amulets, this is also really good. Minion damage or minion health is also great. So you can be getting flat minion damage on the weapons. And those are some of the weapons I have listed. You can also be getting minion health and minion percentage for certain builds with the pads and also with the minions. Together with a good secondary affix and also higher fortune potential, those exalted items can be selling for a lot of gold. Now if you guys are not sure how to price check your exalted items, if you get something like this, I do have a previous video which I made a timestamp for you guys for the example to price check for the exalted items. Now this will be a work in progress. Very soon guys, I'll make a filter so that you don't have to worry about this. And I have a special color that when those colored items appears, you know those can be selling for a lot of gold. But this of course will take me some time. And once that is ready, I'll have the filter available for you guys to be added to your own filter. And this way, no matter what class and what build you make, you can be looking for those exalted items, you can be looking for those idols to be selling for tons of gold. Unfortunately guys, we can't filter unique items by the legendary potential, and that's the downside. Now coming over to the idols. Very similar to the previous one, I do have a short timestamp guide which I showed you guys how to price check for idols. Usually guys, if you get an idol that rolls for 4 or 5% health, you can be selling that one for at least 20, 30 or half a million gold. Really depends on how you roll those stats, but percentage health is very welcome by multiple builds. Now this is also the similar case with elemental resist, whether it's cold resist, lightning resist, some of those builds will be building for uncapped resistance, especially cold resistance. And sometimes you can get multiple resistance on one piece of idol, together with some higher percentage stat of flat health or certain affix that can be helpful. And I have seen some of those selling for over 5 million gold just with one idol. Now there are some certain class idols which can be good, so here you don't get to see much, but you can see some of those class idols like the bow ones are having additional armor shed or ability to do even more critical strike multipliers, together with the class fixed idols can be selling for a lot of gold. But this will require more specific filtering, and I am planning to work on those filters for you guys like I said before. This will take some time, and once that's ready, I'll have the filters available so you guys can be adding your own filters into this one. Now finally, coming over some additional tips. If you haven't seen a previous video, I do have a small trick to be farming for multiple Exalted mages. Currently, the price for Exalted mage items are gonna be the highest with a Mad Alchemist Legend. This particular round at 3 legendary potential is selling for 8 million gold, and it's likely this one will be selling for over 10 million gold as the price inflates. So if you're going for any of the kills with the Exalted Mage, you can use this method to get double encounters. And this means you have more chance to get additional gold whenever you're farming for the echoes. Now coming over to our final part of the guide. I know this one is not directly related to the actual merchant guild, and this one can be used for any of the class. So it's quite important for you to understand this one. So I have noticed a lot of players were selling for power rounds on the official Discord and also even on our Discord. So if you haven't noticed, we do have a Discord for last epoch, and here there's a service tab. You can see a lot of players needing a power level, and some players are willing to pay a lot of gold. So statistically and also ideally, if you're selling for runs, I noticed players are selling for 3.5 million to 5 million gold for level 1 to level 80 runs. And this takes about 2 to 3 hours. If you can find 3 buyers and selling each of the runs for 5 million gold, you can be making 15 million gold in 2 hours. And I have tested this out myself while helping my friend. So it took about 1.5 hours to be farming level 1 to level 50 in the endless arenas. And it took about 30 minutes from level 50 to level 80 to be farming with level 900 corruption dungeons while helping the 2 friends. So it is definitely doable guys. If you have a high level account, no matter if it's merchant guild or so-called fortune, you can be making tons of gold using this method. And if you haven't joined our Discord, make sure you do so, because we have a lot of question sections which I'll be answering, we have a lot of items that people are listing, and also we have a lot of tips and also tricks related to our last epoch. Now hopefully you guys found this video helpful. I will be posting this one and also many other ones onto a collective notes over here. And this one took me a long time, and I've been asking a lot of in-game friends for the best method to be farming for gold, whether you're in the Merchant Guild or the Circle of Fortune. And if you guys like this one, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be looking for more ways of making better filters, and also my future plans of helping you guys getting more items and also more gold in the game. Now, if you guys find my videos and also guides helpful, and also want to support my passion in making more guides and also more videos for the last epoch and also more games to come like Path of Exile, please consider joining me on Patreon, and also here I have created my Ko-Fi page. You can also support me directly through donations, but supporting me continuously with one of those memberships will mean a lot for my future updated videos and to become financially sustainable, so I can be continuing making videos for you guys and doing what I love the most, and that is to share and also teach our communities as I dive into different games and making more guides for you guys. And as you guys gonna see in the future, I'll have different ranks and also perk advantages and also special events and also special features for members, like account reviews, perfecting the build for you guys, and also co-op time play, and also even special future videos for you guys on your special build for different members.